Hey everyone, it's your fearless leader. I'm JJ in the house. I sound so gangster right now, but I just wanted to talk to you guys for a bit and catch up and talk to you guys about some stuff that's been in my head and on my heart, and everything that I've learned over the past day or two. So I'm gonna get set up here and just let you know that this podcast is not gonna change. It's just gonna be a little bit more thought out and structured and less rambly, maybe. I'm not making any promises. So that is why I wrote down some notes. So if this one sounds like a robot, I promise you I will try and improve. But I am gonna try out a new format and hopefully you guys like it. So let's get into it, shall we? So hi all you ability warriors. Welcome back to the Ability Warriors podcast. Your home away from home. If it's alright with you, I'm going to talk a little bit about being positive with a not so positive mindset. I know. It's contradictory, but it's the stage of life that I'm in right now. So if you want to come along on this journey with me and so I can share some stuff with you guys, I would really appreciate it. And if you can take any nuggets away from this, that's all I ask. So this is just my take on a softened heart. So whatever your take on it is, I would encourage you to write it down below and we can start a discussion about it. So we're gonna get into the episode. So all the stuff that I want to share with you guys, I want you guys to be able to maybe one day you can find the strength that I am just now gaining, and we can work through our challenges and our downfalls as a team and find solutions that'll work for everybody, whether you be a different abilities listener or whether you be a advocate for a listener, or if you're just an overall curious person. I don't claim to be an expert, but I just like giving my take on things. So I hope that's alright with you. And if not, this is not the right channel for you. And I appreciate you guys stopping by and hearing me out. And enough rambling, and we'll get into the episode. So, I've always had thoughts that a soft heart was a sign of weakness. It meant that you were weak and that you didn't have a backbone and that you didn't stand up for yourself. But on the contrary, a softened heart, from what I've learned from this podcast that inspired this episode, was that this person that was talking about this subject was talking in a way that indicated that a softened heart was a strength and not a hindrance to their abilities to overcome obstacles. And that is my main goal for this channel. I don't want anybody to think that they're weak. I don't want anybody to think that they're not worth anything. I don't want people to think that they're not capable of doing whatever they set their mind to, because you are. Just because you have a softened heart and a gentle mindset does not mean that you are any less of a person. So what I got from this podcast that inspired my own podcast was that being a softened hearted person is just the opposite of being hard and warrior-like and not letting anybody in. Having a soft heart is a much better way to express your feelings and a much better way to feel confident and feel empowered. And it's a much better way to communicate to people in that way, because you're coming at it from a point of inspiration. You're not coming at it from a point of, I have to be this so that people will like me. I have to do this so that people will respect me. I'm coming at it from a point of, okay, so you're a little rough around the edges, you have a little bit of kinks to work out, but you're on your way to success. And that's what I want for every one of my listeners. I want you guys to come away from this podcast with little nuggets here and there of something that I've said, something that resonated with you guys. And yeah, I just want you guys to know that I am not trying to think that I'm any better than you guys. I want you to know that I am on this journey with you guys. And yes, it is hard to soften your heart up and to not be so judgmental on yourself or others. But just know that you'll be able to get through it and you'll be able to live the life that you've wanted for a long time. And it's not a race and it's not a competition. Like, if you make it more of a competition for yourself and that works for you and that makes you more driven, then by all means go for it. But in this context, I think that softened heart means that you have to be gentle and you have to be understanding that you're not gonna impress everyone. You're not gonna do the normative thing that everybody wants you to do. You're not gonna follow the path of least resistance. You're gonna push boundaries and do the things that aren't contemporary, and you're gonna do them with your own passions and your own drive, whether that be moving out on your own, whether that be standing up to a family member that's done you wrong, whether that's following your passion, starting a business, whether that's standing up in a relationship that you either really want to be in and it's really good for you, or it's toxic and you need to cut ties. Whatever the case may be, I just want the softened heart to have a different connotation than it has in previous ways. So I want you guys to know that that's a form of strength. That is a form of endurance. You are ability warriors after all. So that should be the new motto for this podcast. Ability warriors, softened heart edition. So, yeah. I just want you guys to go into the world, do whatever you need to do to get to where you want to be, with that knowledge that not everybody's gonna like what you're doing. Not everybody has to like what you're doing, as long as you're not being harmful in any way, as long as you're not being verbally disrespectful. You should be able to roam free and do what makes you the happiest and do what makes you the most fulfilled, and people will see it on your face that you mean business, and they will hopefully back off and not give you too much flack for not following the beaten path, and they will let you fly your own plane. They will let you land in whatever field you want to land in. So if people really do care about you, and if you have the right circles around you, you will definitely succeed. And as a big sister of this podcast, I am rooting for you 100%. And I mean that. And I want to start a discussion down below in the comments if anybody's got some mentoring tips, if anybody's got some wheelie tips, or any other disability hacks that we can all learn from. Then drop them down below, and I will not be accepting any weird websites or anything like that of that nature. So if you're going to do that, then you are not part of the Ability Warriors fam, and you are not welcome. But if you're going to be positive and you're going to have a positive outlook, then our door is always open. So I know I'm just learning how to have a softened heart. And it's really helped my mindset shift. And my perspective change. And it's given me kind of an inner peace about the decisions that I make and the things that I'm doing right. And as long as my moral compass says that I'm going in the right direction, that's all that matters. If you're doing stuff dangerously, if you're living on the edge, obviously your compass is a little off. But if you're doing it with the best of intentions, then I would say that you're in the same boat that I am, and you're just trying to tread water very lightly and find your footing. And I know about 5 years ago when I moved in here, I thought 3 things. I thought, okay, I made it, I'm safe. I thought, okay, I have somebody to take care of me. I thought, okay, like, what do I do now? And those three mindsets have completely shifted. One, because now I have nobody but myself to be my cheerleader, and nobody to kind of boost my spirits in times of hardship. I have my mama bear, but the distance is hard when it's just hard. So I have her in spirit, of course. But for the most part, I have to make decisions on the fly, and I'm learning. Learning is a key word there. Learning not to really care what people think. Learning to fulfill my own needs before conforming to what people perceive me to be. I hate that so much. People perceive so much of a differently abled human being. They think that we just sit inside all day. Well, right now we do, but it's because we have no choice. But if you knew the history of disabled people, you should really look up. It's called Crypt Camp. It's on Netflix, the Canadian Netflix, and it talks about civil rights and rights of the disabled community, and it's just a really good resource for you guys to check out. And it's not really too political, because I don't go that way. Like, I'm not super political, and I'm not like telling you guys to believe what I believe, but I think it's a good stepping off point, or a good wheeling off point, to kind of dive into that a little deeper. But we don't have enough time on this podcast for me to share all my opinions and all my views. If you really, really would like that, and if you really want me to dive into my views and my opinions, I would love to do that for you guys. So, if you want me to do it, just leave a thumbs up on this video, and I will see what I can do, and even leave questions if you want me to answer them on any topic that is PG, even if it's not PG, but please no intimate comments, no, none of that, no dating comments, please. Just for personal reasons and privacy reasons, I will not be talking about that. So, I kind of went off on a tangent, but let's see if we can't get back to it. So, having a softened heart has given me a different perspective on life. It's really helped me to see other people in a different light. Even just after a day of listening to that podcast that I listened to with this phrase in it, it's really done a mind shift 180 on me, and I think I want to carry this as a tool in my toolbox for as long as I can remember it, and as long as I can carry it with me, which is hopefully forever. So, and it really opened my eyes to the way I treat myself and my behavior towards others. Like, I thought, what was me? I'm not doing enough. I'm not being enough. I'm not being the person that I need to be. And there should be no judgment from either parties for that. Whatever you choose to do, whatever you choose to be, should not be a conversation. Unless you're in a partnership, then it might be a little bit more of a conversation. But if you're riding solo right now, you should do what's best for you. And even in a relationship, if the person is not supportive, or if the person is controlling and wants to manipulate the situation to their liking, then I would suggest one thing: run. Or wheel away as fast as you can. Leave tire marks if you have to. Because that is not the life that any of us want. That is not the life that any of us deserve. So, just keep the softened heart philosophy in mind and go forth and be the best you that you know how to be. And if you're being judged, if you're being ridiculed, just try to power through. And if it gets to the point where it's really bad, seek help, please. Seek help if it's like to the point where you can't go it alone. There's no shame in going to a therapist and being like, hey, I have these ideas of what I want my life to be like. I was wondering if you could help me figure out why I'm not getting to that point. And I think they would be more than willing to assist you with all that. At least my therapists were. They were more than willing to help me. And not just because I'm paying them, I think because they actually wanted to. So, if you can't go it alone, and if you don't have people around you that support it, then go at it with a professional, because they'll have ways to navigate it more than even you knew was possible. So, I don't know, I want to put that out there and put all this goodness out into the universe. And I want to start a comment thread down below. Please don't be shy and say hi to me or write me a question, and you know what I do and do not tolerate. So if you could follow those guidelines, that would be awesome. And yeah, I just want to keep it as constructive and as fun and lighthearted as possible. If you have deeper comments, then I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, as always, I'm going to shout out my friend here on YouTube. Her name is Minnie Mancino, and she has a Discord channel and also does Unknown Empire and all the other gaming loveliness. So she does a vlog type podcast type YouTube video game tutorial situation. So it's really cool, and you should go check it out and tell her that the Ability Warriors leader sent you. And yeah, just go over there and show her some love. And remember to always show me some love if you want to see more content. You can see it anytime Monday through Sunday. Or not Monday. Thursday through Sunday. Any of those days is usually when I post. So I look forward to hearing all your comments. And remember to keep them kind and harmonious. And we will be chatting soon. I'm just gonna double check and see if I forgot anything. And then that'll be it for today. Oh, and remember, if you have small victories every day, that will add up. That will definitely add up. So always keep that in mind. Even if it's like, hey, I did the dishes today. Or hey, I got the keys to my new place. And I have no furniture yet, but I'm working on it. Or something along those lines. Or I picked up something that I dropped all of myself. Just those small little wins. Keep them in your back pocket or your front pocket or in the side of your chair. And just know that you did that. You achieved that. So and embrace your weirdness and go forth and conquer. Thanks again for stopping by the Ability Warriors podcast, and I will be chatting with you soon. Alright, MJ, your fearless leader, is now, wait for it, out.